Childhood obesity is a growing problem here in Georgia.
Every single day, kids make fun of how fat you are.
How one young man's story became a book and is now being turned into a movie shot right here in Atlanta. Now, Georgia is ranked number 3 for having the highest rate of overweight children. That's according to the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation.
And despite the intense focus, the problem is getting worse. Now, a Georgia film company is featuring the story of an obese teenager who overcame the problem. Health Watch reporter Beth Galvin has his story.
Middle school is tough enough.
Every single day, kids make fun of how fat you are, and you try and ignore it, but you just can't.
But being obese at 14 made Doug Hennig a social outcast.
When you walk into a cafeteria and you see all these people all around you going by, and yet you feel so alone, and you don't have anyone to sit with and to talk to, and everyone else is just carrying on, laughing and having a good time, and you just don't have that.
Doug's story is not unique. It's estimated a third of America's children are considered overweight. But his struggle inspired a book, the Fat Boy Chronicles. And now a Georgia company, Tin Roof Films, is making it into a movie. Director Jason Wynn hopes the drama will draw attention to the problem of bullying.
I think that's what people need to see is the reality of consequences. And I think what sounds like something funny that you come up with in the locker room, to really see the results of that is intense.
The film begins with Jimmy, a character based on Doug, looking for friendship and finding only ridicule.
And he just wants to be accepted and liked.
One of the grittier scenes depicts a prank that leaves Jimmy barricaded outside the gym locker room, wearing only his underwear.
It was just Jimmy beating on the door, let me in, let me in, let me in. And the actors that were on the other side of the door when we said cut had tears in their eyes because they really felt like they felt responsible for this emotion.
A doctor's tough talk gets Jimmy started on an exercise and diet routine. And the actor playing the physician has a real-life story to match the film's theme.
When I was a child, I was very obese. I was morbidly obese.
Ron Lester eventually lost 300 pounds. He's hoping the film can help other overweight teens.
I remember sitting there in his position and having a guy tell me, if you don't lose the weight, you're gonna die.
Jimmy does lose the weight, and he learns to accept and respect himself.
This is a real Chris. This is a real Jimmy.
The filmmakers brought Doug Hennig to Noonan, Georgia, so he could be a part of the film.
And there's Jimmy right there, and I'm sitting right behind him. I thought that was really cool to be, a part of that.
But even better, says Doug, is knowing that his story might help other teens who are toughing it out on their own.
Just being able to, personally connect with people. And if it just helps out one person, I've done my job.
Beth Galvin, Fox 5 Health Watch.
Doug Hennig is now a sophomore at the University of Cincinnati. The film, The Fat Boy Chronicles, is due out by early spring next year.